Welcome back again to Little Big Wins, where I actually talk about my experiences with doing and intentionalizing little things that are not necessarily prestigious or big time to other people, but to me they are actually big things. Same principle as that phrase, that maxim, um, pennies add up. Pennies are little single cents, but when they add up, you got something bigger, and you've got more value. So that's what the focus of my little podcast is. It's a very new podcast. It is not, like big and prestigious and big time on the world scene or anything, but I still wanted to create a space for myself so I could express my personal little big wins. And if anyone else is experiencing a similar type of thing where they're working on something, or they feel they're in between two projects, or two at a crossroads, life changes, or if they're building something and they're still in the middle of building it, or they are at the top and they're finished, but they find that even the finished location where you are, you might feel like, well, you still want to emotionally approach and do a check-in and do an inventory of the parts of your success rather than just being and sitting and swimming in and maybe even drowning in the end, the big blanket of it, but to really just maybe look at the finer threads and fibers of it at a more micro level. Well, in any case, however way you like it, Little Big Ones is designed for that, for those little intentions, those little actions you do that in your heart, just like I do in my heart, are really big. They're big wins. They're also advances towards healing, emotionally healing. I have some personal trauma from my past, especially about 15 years ago. Probably the most negative thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I don't go into too much detail, but I do mention it in previous podcasts. Feel free to listen. And so I've just been in the middle of healing, but not huge strokes. The huge strokes are there, but so are the bajillion zillion day-to-day micro healings. Very important. Well, today I'd like to talk about having a little business, a side hustle, just a wee enterprise venture for yourself, even though you may have a conventional job. And I'm hoping you have a conventional job that pays well, too. And I want to talk about having a little something off on the side, so that you can feel a certain type of unforeseen big safety net. Yeah, that's what I want to say. I mean, even if it's like a lemonade stand, starts out as a lemonade stand, bro. There is something about having that safety there, because if you are a person who has experienced doing your best at a job, and then the job just, you have an employer, you might love on it real good like that, and really give all but your firstborn to that job, proverbially speaking, of course. But you may not be feeling the appreciation right back at you, reciprocate right back at you. And I'm not saying hate on those people. I'm just saying, hey, get ready. Have that plan in place in the case something happens. You might be let go, processed out. You know already what the work site level of hostility is and lack of warmth. Maybe you're at a company or have an employer that has really bad politics going on left and right. The unreported um, harassments, the unfair discriminations, the conflicts of interest, the policies not really followed, and if they are, they're really catered to just a clique of people who happen to be in power. You have a boss who's micromanaging to a point where it's an abuse of their power, and you're not feeling the um, particular fruits of positivity from the workplace. It's become a hostile work environment. All the goodies, all the classics, right? Especially at a place that really does not understand, um, does not understand, um, soft skills. That whole rising soft skills approach to enhanced and better management from top to bottom, left and right. And so I wanted to say if you have a little business idea, um, it can, in the long run, it could be a big safety. Whatever it is, my weapon of choice happens to be a lot of e-commerce. But I have, of course, I made sure that it's something that the type of e-commerce that I do love, and I am interested in, and that I just naturally gravitate towards. And you could do the same thing too. And of course, a side hustle and a little business. There's so many different versions of what each person could do or wants to do or creates or accidentally haps upon, that they have an income stream other than what their employer provides them. And there's all kinds of ways to start. I could help you with that. For a fee, I'm very happy to do that. I will actually make sure that I include my information for you to message me and let me know that you're interested, and then I'd be happy to give you a rate for setup. I've started mine. I have like one parent company. However, it's really made up of 40 or 40 plus DBAs or subsidiaries. So it's not really a small thing, but it is a collection of small things. So I do know small business. But you could start out with one. If you have two or three more, great. But if you have a business idea, absolutely you can like get it going, get it running. And so I want to talk about that security. Honestly, it happened to me. I had a job there that I was really loving and passionate about several years ago. And I felt like I was really making a difference in the community. There was monies that I caused, that I had planned and designed for people to receive in a high impoverished area. And it's just like milk and honey were flowing. And we did not use any kind of government grant. I tried to get one only to find out that our project was not even eligible enough for that. However, I did see the fruits of that labor almost immediately. And that's how I knew I was actually good at business making, particularly through things like arts and culture and language. Those three disciplines in academics do not necessarily on their own are high business making. We're still living in the world of hedge funds, of finance, of a lot of that kind of thing. And but arts and culture and indigenous languages as niches, but I did it. And So that's again, that's where I found out, oh, I could be good at business, making businesses and have them thrive. Well, anyway, I want you to know that you could too. I mean, I teach by training. I teach literature and philosophical concepts and tenets, and I'm in the hardcore arts and letters at the academic and scholarly level, and I return to it. Uh, During good chunk of the year, in one form or another, being a professor again, or doing scholarly research, or involved in other types of expressions and think tanks. Um, but you yourself, or anybody, could carry on. You could carry on with a business, a side hustle, and prove to yourself that whatever your training is, whatever your background is, you don't even need to have a high school diploma to have a business. You could just go for it. Absolutely, just go for it. And look, I've had people laugh at me. I've had people laugh at me, and that never stops me. That's just to be expected. I've had people doubt me. I've had people, give me that side eye. I've had men that I've been in relationships that tell me I could not do it. There's a reason why I'm single. And I'm just saying, you could do it. Anyone can do it. Even these men that doubted me, told me I could not do it, they could do it too. I know how to be, non-biased, because I just believe so deeply that every single human can have an entrepreneurial commercial venture enterprise form of some sort. And I say that so they can have, each person can have a safety net of income that nobody else really has control over. No one. Right? You may have to pay taxes to the state and feds. And if you're overseas, you got to pay taxes, whatever jurisdiction you're in there. You've got to report them. There are, of course, a little bit of the jumping through hoops. However, those are really not necessarily out of the ordinary. The blood, sweat, tears, the hard work, the creativity, the joy of making some cash from your own out of your own creation and your own creationism, and having the first, middle, and final say of that business, really, virtually speaking. I'm saying go for it. I'm saying create yourself not just a nest egg, create yourself a safety net. Create yourself something that really cannot be touched by anybody else. And I just cheer you on. I absolutely cheer you on. And again, I am available for a consultation. I'm very happy to give you my upfront fee, and then continual fees after that. And it's worth it. It's totally worth it. For an extra fee, I'll even set it up for you. And it's all free stuff. But I have learned the know-how as to how to put all of that together. Now, you might be thinking that I'm making this particular episode so that I could sell my services to you. No, that's just something if you want. My primary thing for this is always how I'm feeling about a safety net for fellow human beings, which is get yourself a business. Even if it's a lemonade stand that turns into something else. Get yourself a business, make one. Get some help making one if you don't know how to. I think people, my close friends would say I'm an expert as to how to build businesses. I don't know if I am. I think that's just a label that has been come my way. because I really have this other thing that I'm comfortable in saying. I'm pretty clear and confident to say I have experience in building businesses. And I have had successes, even when there were failures in it. That's just part of it. That's just part of it. Eating crow is just something that you have as part of it, but it's not the end all of it all at all. Your glow up for business making, it just keeps glowing up and up and up. And so you have a couple bad days, a couple bad moments within a day. Maybe you have 100 bad moments in one. That's not a reason to stop. That's just part of it. And you get over it, and then you learn. And then over time, you just do not repeat those mistakes, at least in the forms that they came initially. And you have a lot of time to test it and to experiment with it. You don't have to rush it. But I do urge you to start it and have that idea. And I cheer you on for whatever business idea that you have. Start with one part of it, and then we would just add different parts of it onto it, over time. I just feel so strongly that my little message to express the importance of having your own something, so it's virtually untouchable by whichever employer that you are now committed to. And many people are struggling right now for income. I say, hey, a great antidote for that, a great remedy for that is start your own business. And it could just be one business that you could start. And a little business is not really a little thing. It's a big deal. And I urge you and cheer you on to soak that in, to give yourself a big old hug and give your projects a big warm hug and just go for it. If you have questions about how to set it up, on the technical side of things, hey, call your state office and say, hey, I want to start a little business. Even if it's a sole proprietorship, start it and find time to work on it just a little bit every day, and just watch it grow, just as you would any of your plants in the windowsill or in the garden. And so that's my message for tonight. On Little Big Wins. Thanks for listening in, and talk to you soon.